Welcome to the Adult Sports Situation Network, otherwise known as ASSN. And I'm your boy 12H, and that stands for putting your best foot forward. And in this episode, we're talking Caleb Williams. He has spoken, and there's a lot of interesting things to cover in this episode. But first, hit that sub button below, do tick the notification bell, like, and do share. Now, let's get it.
ASSN.
I mean, the Bears was an 8-9 team last year, I believe, and 7-10. Sorry, and you know that's pretty good for a team that has the first pick, and they got a good defense. They got good players on offense, and you know it's pretty exciting. You know, if you could go into a situation like that.
ASSN.
And listen, in today's conversation, we are talking Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has spoken. Yes, he has spoken. Yesterday during the Combine, he came out and he answered a plethora of questions, a lot of them coming from, obviously, the Chicago community. And did he really sound that excited about going to the Bears? Now, that's where we got to really dive into. It sounds like from the beginning of the situation, Caleb and his father have been having reservations about where you get drafted. You know, some certain teams take you, they're at the bottom of the barrel. They don't know how to develop a quarterback. They don't have the right assets and pieces around that quarterback. And maybe the coaching is a deficiency. Sounds like they were describing the Bears because we see that right now with Justin Fields. But at the same time, you got to take into account that Caleb does not want to be placed in what he probably saw Justin Fields placed into. Now, the Bears are slightly better than what Justin Fields was dropped into, but at the same time, if you use your pick on Caleb Williams, then you cannot fill out the rest of the roster the way you could with cheap wide receivers like a Roma Dunze or a Malik Neighbors, or hopefully like a Marvin Harrison Jr. But at this particular point, does Caleb really want to come to the Bears? It almost seems like he's almost downgrading the potential of drafting him. You know, when they talked about Washington, he seemed a little bit more upbeat about it, you know, being from that area. But when they did bring up the Bears, it seemed more like he was trying to stay neutral. It wasn't like he was saying, yeah, I want to be drafted by the Bears. I'm excited. The Bears, they have a great, rich history. You know, they're one of the first teams in the whole NFL. It's a charter franchise. They've never had a quarterback like they want, and I believe I can fulfill that potential. Or it wasn't like he had any of that energy. It was more like, well, you know, it's kind of like I don't have any choice in the matter, and really it's the Bears' decision. That's how he came across, and actually he did say that. He said it's the Bears' decision. He did sound like he was trying to be neutral about it because he's not really trying to hurt himself and the perspective other teams will have on him by talking about the Bears in the manner in which he talked about them. So it sounded like he was kind of standing back and saying, look, guys, that's not really my position and my stance, but I have no say in the matter. But whatever happens, happens, and I want to be the best that I can be and rewrite history, so on and so forth. After watching that and watching his demeanor and his body language, it sounds and it looks like he really rather go somewhere where it's not where they don't have a history of messing up quarterbacks, especially in recent history. You look at Mitch Trubisky, although I don't ever believe he was a number 2 pick. He was never a number 2 pick. Jaw hit the floor when I heard.
With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina.
If the Bears, the number 2 pick, take Mitch Trubisky. I was like, what? And who in the hell is that? North Carolina? Is this basketball? If this was the Bulls, it'd be a different situation. You see how it worked out with Jordan, Kobe White, so on and so forth with other teams. But in this particular situation, they don't want to be placed in a situation where the team is not properly building around them. First off, the Bears, what do they have for a head coach? They went ahead and went defense. Then when they started to do the rebuild, they took away all the assets, all the pieces, and where did they start rebuilding? Defense. Makes sense because you got Matt Eberflus, okay? And that's the foundation of his job and why he got hired out of Indianapolis. One thing Ryan Poles said that really resonated with me is that no matter what happens or what decision he makes, he wants to do right by Justin Fields. Okay, wouldn't doing right by Justin Fields be giving him what he needs? I mean, think about this for a second, right? This is a situation where Justin Fields is a chef and he's in a kitchen. You have an amazing kitchen, okay? And you have an amazing chef. Caleb Williams is probably going to be an amazing chef. But he's coming out of chef school and he's looking at Justin Fields and he sees that this team is grading Justin Fields on his cooking. You only gave the man bread, and you gave him butter, and you gave him a butter knife. And you keep ordering French toast, right? And the best he can do is give you bread and butter out of the toaster with a French accent. You didn't back up the truck and give him the eggs. You didn't give him the vanilla extract, the salt, the pepper, everything that he needs to be the chef that he's supposed to be. So what I'm trying to say is, when somebody else is watching a situation like that, do they really want to fall into that same situation? Because right now the Bears have a choice. You either keep the same chef and then decide to use that first pick, trade back, and bring in some ingredients, or you can switch out the chef and put him in that same kitchen, and now don't have the ammunition to back up the truck and give that chef the right amount of ingredients that chef needs. So basically what I'm trying to say is, with the Bears, with everybody looking at the Bears situation, is that even if Caleb Williams is looking at Justin Fields, he probably sees the talent, but he sees the Bears have never given him the ingredients that he needs to get cooking. So he doesn't want to be placed in the same situation where they can give you a beautiful kitchen, but they don't give you any ingredients. So after watching this whole scenario and this whole interview, he's going to be fine no matter where he goes. He just wants to be placed in a situation where he can thrive and he can win. He wants to be immortal. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about the jewels. That's because he's already making money and he knows the money's going to come. But he wants to win. Now, are the Bears a team that want to win? They're in win now mode, if they choose to do so. Have they shown that? Have they proven that on the offensive side of the ball? And that is probably what's concerning him. Then you have his father inside the whole situation, putting out narratives to try to deflect, change, twist, and turn situations. So maybe the Bears draft back. Right now, with all these things going around everywhere, you had all these rumors saying it looks like now the Bears are going to trade back. They are going to keep Justin, and they're going to build a super team around him. And then right after that, not even 12 hours later, you have Courtney Cronin and other people coming out saying, look, it's imminent. The trade for Justin Fields by the Atlanta Falcons is actually happening. We're probably hours away. Here's the whole other situation with Caleb Williams. Everybody is saying, okay, Caleb Williams has spoken. And Caleb Williams said all the right things from the Chicago media because he's trained to say the right things. How many times have you been in a job interview where you sat there and tried to say all the wrong things? Now, none of us know exactly what's going to happen. This is a very, very critical situation for Ryan Poles. It's either you get Caleb Williams and make that try to happen, or you can build a super team. So place in the comments exactly what you guys would like to have. Would you rather have Caleb Williams, or would you rather have a whole better team? So place that in the comments right below. But buckle up, because this is getting very exciting, and as soon as there's new news, I'm going to get it right to you guys. This is your boy 12-inch putting his best foot forward every day, and this is the Adult Sports Situation Network, otherwise known as ASSN. And next time we pull up in your YouTube feed, get your ass in.